On the 160th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about the MLB Trade Deadline along with a potential MLB lockout for next year. And then we talk a little bit about the NFL training camps and Ricky Pearsall going into season-ending surgery. Make sure you use code HatTrick Sports when checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. This week of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, this episode is being filmed less than 2 hours before the MLB Trade Deadline. And there have been tons of blockbuster trades so far, and they just keep rolling in. We're first going to talk about the biggest trade of the year so far. Tarik Skubal is officially a Los Angeles Dodger. Now, everybody's freaking out about this. Everybody's freaking out about this because the Dodgers, in your opinion, is going to cause a lockout and there's not going to be baseball next season. I disagree with that. I heavily disagree with that. But the Tigers ended up getting Hope, River Ryan, and Brady Smith for Tarik Skubal. Tarik Skubal's contract is up at the end of this season. Hopefully the Dodgers there would be an extension in sometime this offseason if he ends up doing well and likes it. I'm pretty sure he grew up in Southern California, so he's right back home where he belongs. Dalton Varsho is officially an Astro. Since we are filming this podcast, there's going to be live updates on the trade deadline here that I didn't have pre-planned just because we're less than 2 hours out and I can't do all the research. But the Tigers, they ended up getting those three guys. The Dodgers have Tarik Skubal just for the rest of the season, and but I think he might re-sign with the Dodgers. But yeah, the Dodgers rotation is special now. If you guys have been living under a rock, the Dodgers are a complete powerhouse in Major League Baseball. You have guys Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, it's just an all-star team. But now their rotation, you can have 9 to 10 guys in their rotation right now. Number 1, Tarik Skubal, newest member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 2, Shohei Ohtani, right now isn't pitching, which is fine. Save him for the postseason. He's a little uncomfortable right now with his knee and bicep. Number 3, you have Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Any other team in the league, Yoshinobu Yamamoto would be their number 1. He's their number 3 right now. You could argue that he's number 2. Whatever. You have Blake Snell in the 4. Blake Snell, future Hall of Famer Blake Snell is in the 4. Number 5, Tyler Glasnow. Think about that rotation, first of all. But wait, there's more. One of the best pitchers in the first half of the season, Justin Robleski, he's getting shoved under all of these future Hall of Famers, but he is still having an incredible season. Not these last few games, but in the first half of the season have been incredible. And then you have Roki Sasaki, another guy that came over from Japan. I could see him going into the bullpen. He's going to be more of the bullpen guy. You have Emmett Sheehan, which I thought was going to be part of that Tigers trade. Ended up staying with the Dodgers, and they only really gave up River Ryan and 2 prospects, which is wild to me. But again, you're only getting Skubal for, 40, 50 games? It's not that big of a thing as people are making it. It's going to help them win the World Series this year, but the Dodgers, it's a good price point. And then you have Gavin Stone and Eric Lauer. Those guys, I don't think Lauer's going to last the next 2 hours with the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers make a small trade here in the next 2 hours and just get rid of Lauer because you can't have 10 starters. You have a 26-man roster. 10 of them can't be starting pitchers. That's not even going into the bullpen. Now, a lot of these guys are going to start shifting into the bullpen, which starters don't want to do. But if you want to win a World Series, and if you're not going to be a future Hall of Famer in the Big 26, and you want to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers, that's just what's going to have to happen. But one skeptic, I don't know, one perspective I saw about this about this Tigers trade was that the Tigers owner specifically wanted Tarik Skubal to go to the Dodgers so the owners could have a higher chance of there being a lockout next season. Now, if you guys have been living under a rock, we'll talk about this a little bit later in the podcast, but there's going to be a lockout happening from December to hopefully around March, potentially all the way for an entire year next season, and there might not be any baseball next season, and the owners want that. The owners are like, hey, we're sick and tired of paying our players to make us hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, so we're going on strike. And then the players are like, no, we're going on strike. And that's what a lockout is. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but did the Tigers want to trade Skubal? Did the Tigers owners and GM want to trade Skubal to the Dodgers so there would be a higher chance of a lockout? I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's a real perspective. Again, I don't really think it happened like that. I think that they were just happy with the offer that the Dodgers got. River Ryan, never trust a guy with two first names. And then Hope and Brady Smith, nobodies. I'm not going to say nobodies. They're pretty good prospects, but in my opinion, I don't love prospects. I would rather have the star. I would rather have one star than 10 prospects. You know what I mean? Because out of every 10 prospects, I feel like 8 of them are busts. One of them turn out somewhat decent, and then maybe 1 of 10 turn out to be like some huge star that's like equivalent to like Gunnar Henderson. You know what I mean? Like, the prospects aren't guaranteed. Tarik Skubal's stats do not lie. You can have him right now. You don't need to baby him anymore. He knows what it's like to be in the league, and he's a competitor. And I'm excited to have Tarik Skubal. Some other trades that have happened here in the last few days is the Yankees acquired Luis Garcia Jr. from the Nationals. Right now, he's batting .283 with 23 home runs with an .873 OPS. He leads the National League in slugging. And, you know, with the Bellinger, Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton being injured, this is good for the Yankees because they're going to have to make a fight. They're going to be fighting for the Rays. They're going to be fighting with the Rays from here on out. I mean, here till October, they're going to just be fighting. It cost them 4 pitchers, Jake Bird, Ben Grabble, Jack Sibber. I've never even heard of some of these guys. But yeah, it's good for the Yankees. They needed to fill that hole, and that is great for the Yankees. Another trade that happened, the Rays acquired Freddie Peralta. Rays-Dodgers World Series, I'm calling it now, August 3rd. Rays are deep right now. The Rays are doing really good. To get reliever from the Angels, the Cubs are planning to give... All right. I'm just, again, trying to keep up with this trade deadline live on the podcast. We're going to get Heyman up in here. Make sure his stuff, John Heyman, his stuff is going good. The Padres on Newt Bar, they want a lefty hitter. Uncertain how available Monarch is. I don't know. But yeah. More news, Freddie Peralta to the Rays from the Mets. The Rays are really deep right now. They're really good, you know. You play a couple seasons in a minor league field, and then all of a sudden you go back to the Trop. You're incredible. But the Mets gave up 2 prospects for him in January. He flopped. He absolutely was a bust. Ended up with the 4.99 ERA, and they're selling him at a loss. But yeah, Tampa's rotation, incredible. It's already an elite. It's an elite rotation already. It costed them 3 prospects, 3 minor leaguers. That's incredible. That's incredible for the Rays. The Rays are doing really well this season. I'm just trying to keep updated with this. Sorry for this is going to be a really confusing podcast with all the updates. But yeah, right now the Rays are 65-46, 2.5 games above the Yankees. Yankees and Rays are both buyers right now at this deadline. I mean, look at those 3. Shohei Ohtani, Tarik Skubal, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's incredible. Tarik Skubal in a Dodgers uniform. It's so pretty. But yeah. Freddie Peralta is a Ray. The next one, the Padres got Robbie Ray from the Giants. You know, a little NL West trade action. Right now, Robbie Ray is 10-6 with a 3.08 ERA. This summer, Robbie Ray has been one of the best pitchers in the league, and you cannot deny that. Since June, just absolutely insane. Robbie Ray, have yourself a few months. Right now, the Padres are a game out of a wild card spot. So to have a rental arm like him, again, his contract's up at the end of this season. They're 11 games back from the Dodgers, which, let's just make that obvious. Look at the Dodgers, sorry. If you guys are just listening, I'm watching the trade deadline while talking about the trade deadline on two different broadcasts, and they're showing the Dodgers winning back-to-back World Series. It's just incredible. It's an incredible time to be a Dodgers fan. Where was I? Robbie Ray. Right now, the Padres are a game out of the wild card. So they need this rental. They need to use this rental because they're also only one game back from the Diamondbacks. So let me go look at... I'm going to look at the wild card right here. Yeah, they're a game out. They're a game behind the Diamondbacks. So Padres, Diamondbacks, I would like to see them fight as much as possible here in these last few months of the season. And, I think that's perfect for the Dodgers, at least. Come from a Dodgers fan. Yep, still no updates. Nothing new there. The Phillies got Luis Arias from the Giants. He is a 3-time batting title champ. He's hitting .324 right now, and he's leading the National League in batting average. This is going to change up the defense for the Phillies a little bit. Stott is probably going to go to third base. Bohm is probably going to go to first base. And then Bryce Harper, for the first time since 2022, is headed to the outfield. Now, I wish the Dodgers did this with Mookie Betts because I liked Mookie Betts better in the outfield. I get it with the lineup they have right now. He fits where it's at, but sometimes when Mookie Betts makes a defensive error, especially to ruin a perfect game, I second guess it. I'm like, do we really need him in the infield? Yeah, Yoshinobu Yamamoto really deserved that perfect game. That was actually really good. That was really cool, but Mookie Betts kind of messed it up, and then he lost a no-hitter. Still nothing on the trade deadline in the last few minutes. It's getting there. We're an hour and a half out. But yeah, they also picked up a reliever from the Mets. Good for the Phillies. The Phillies right now in their standings. Don't tell me I exited. No, I didn't. Let's go there. Right now, the Phillies are 8 games behind the Braves. They are still in the wild card. Let me look up where they are in the wild. Yeah, they're last. They're in the wild card, but barely. They need to make a turn on. They're good. The Phillies are a good team, and I think this defensive rotation might help them a little bit more. But they need to catch up to the Braves. I don't think they're going to catch them, but they need to start picking up the pace to at least be above the Diamondbacks. Because right now they're tied with the Diamondbacks. You don't want that. They're 4 games behind the Cubs. The Cubs are 4 games up in the wild card race, which is where you want to be if you're not in a leader, a division leader. River Ryan to the Tigers. Never trust a guy with 2 first names. So yeah, Phillies acquired Luis Arias from the Giants. Hey, if he's out of the NL West, I am not going to complain. The White Sox got Luis Castillo from the Mariners. He is 3-9 with a 5.06 ERA this year. He has a career 3.65 ERA. It's low buy. I mean, it cost them Sir Anthony Dominguez, Nolan Jones, and a catching prospect. I don't know how I feel about this. The Tigers turned a switch on this year. I mean, absolutely turned the switch on this year. Right now, they are up by 3 games in the AL Central. Sure, is the AL Central, good by any means? No, they're very average. They have 2 guys. They're all, around 500. The only one that's not are the Royals. But yeah, the White Sox, have yourself a year. Make yourself into, just go straight into the DS. You would love to see that on the AL side. They're going to run into the Rays at some point, which is going to be hard. The Rays are really, really good right now. Yeah, I'm just waiting for these updates. I'm waiting for these trade deadline updates. Nothing. It's pretty quiet the last few minutes. We're just getting NFL stuff out of all things. But yeah. Luis Castillo to the White Sox. The Red Sox, this just happened. The Red Sox got Adley Rutschman. Now, right now, he is on the IL with wrist inflammation. He's been on the IL since like June or something. But this is good for the Red Sox. They got him from the Orioles. He's a 3-time All-Star catcher. He is under contract through 2027. So not only do they get him for this year, but they get him for next year too. So hopefully when his wrist is a little bit better, they can start using him. The Orioles moved him because they signed Samuel Basallo. Yeah, they got Basallo for the as catcher, so they don't really need Rutschman anymore, and he's hurt. And the Orioles, again, you rarely see interdivision trades, but right now the Orioles are 11.5 games back. Meanwhile, the Red Sox are 5.5 games back and 4 games up in the wild card. So the Red Sox are going to be they're going to be in the playoffs, and to have Adley Rutschman in the playoffs will definitely benefit them a lot. It really, really turned on for the Red Sox after that winning streak. That winning streak just turned it on for them and made them buyers. Before that, they were probably sellers. Before that winning streak, they were probably sellers, but now they got Adley Rutschman, one of the best catchers in the league when he's not hurt. But yeah, the Red Sox, Adley Rutschman, good for them. I could see him fitting there. I feel like he'd fit well with that lineup. I'm going to dive deeper into Adley Rutschman, look at his stats. Again, this year is going to be a little bit wonky, but where we at? That's not the stats I want. Yeah, right here. Last year, he batted .297. This year, he's batting .335. He's only played in... where's just the regular stats? I don't know why we got to do all this all the time. Right here. Yeah. He's played in only 67 games this year. He's batting .251 this year. That just said .229. I'm getting some mixed numbers. That's for... Oh, that was offensive contributions. Yeah, no. Take that. I take that all back. This year... Where is it? This year, he is batting .251. He's only played in 67 games. Again, wrist inflammation injury. Last year, he batted .220. Not incredible, but, as a catcher, the year before, 2024, he's batting .250. He has a career WAR of 16.6 games. Career batting average, .254. It's good. What did they give up? I don't even know what the Red Sox gave up yet. This just happened a couple hours ago, so I'm not fully caught up there. And then the Angels. The last team I wanted to talk about is the Angels. They are definitely sellers this year. They traded Joe Adell to Cleveland, Jose Soriano to Toronto, Logan O'Hoppe and Chase Silseth to Texas, Brent Sutter to Atlanta. I mean, they're just getting rid of everybody in Anaheim, which as they should. Right now, they are, it makes me mad, really mad to just look at the AL West standings. And when I see the AL West standings with one team above 500, and then I still see somebody 14.5 games back, the Angels, 14.5 games back of the division leader that is only 58 and 55. Is it the only division without a team with 60 wins? And it's not even... Oh, no, sorry. The AL Central, the White Sox don't have it. I won't go too hard on the Astros yet. All right, we were back. Just some technical difficulties with the audio there. Sorry about that. But where were we? The Angels are selling everybody. I think I kind of talked about the Angels are selling everybody. One second, it's going to take me a minute. Everybody's fleeing from the Angels, but that's what they need to do. Oh, I was talking about their division. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 14.5 games back. If you're 14.5 games back in a division that doesn't even have, that's number one, the division leader right now is 58 and 55. You're doing something wrong and you got to sell. You got to sell the team. You got to fire the GM. You got to fire the coach. You need a full recession. Just get rid of everybody. Next season, you're not going to have anybody anyway. So just get rid of them all. Collect and do like how they do expansion teams. Just just everybody just go and collect new guys. It's just not looking good for the Angels, and it hasn't for a long time. And I would hate to be an Angels fan. I'd hate to be an Angel. I would hate to work for the Angels. But yeah, let's move on to, we're going to talk about the MLB lockout. MLB lockout's going to be a reoccurring topic as it has been for Kevin Gausman to the Cubs, acquired from the Blue Jays. When did that come in? I don't know when that came in. That may have been a few minutes ago, or like an hour ago. But yeah, the MLB lockout with the Dodgers getting Tarik Skubal, everybody is even more scared of a lockout. And the Dodgers didn't give up that much for Tarik Skubal. If you really think about it, gave up 2 prospects and River Ryan. River Ryan wasn't that good. The 2 prospects are pretty good. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to bash on them, but they're prospects. They're not guaranteed guys. Like, they're not guaranteed stars. Just for them to have Tarik Skubal for the rest of the season. But the Dodgers just do it right. You can hate on the Dodgers all you want. Your team can do the exact same thing. There are tons of billionaire owners across Major League Baseball that just don't want to spend money. Mark Walter. I'm going to talk about Mark Walter here in a second. But the Dodgers, it all started back in 2017. It all started back in the 2010s with the Dodgers. You lost to the Astros 2017, found out they were cheating, then lost to the Red Sox 2018, so on. 2020, they finally, 2020, they got Mookie Betts. That was the big star. Then they ended up getting Freddie Freeman. They won a World Series in 2022. They won a World Series. Then they got Ohtani. And then that brought Yamamoto, which brought championships. Then you started seeing a dynasty starting to form in Los Angeles. Then you saw that brought on the guys like Glasnow, Snell, Kyle Tucker, and now everybody all of a sudden wants to be a Dodger. None of this would have happened, I don't think. I'm a firm believer in the butterfly effect. I believe none of this, the Los Angeles Dodgers dynasty, would never have happened if the Astros didn't cheat and the Dodgers won that World Series and won the 2018 World Series. I feel like the Dodgers don't get Mookie Betts. They don't get Freddie Freeman. They don't get Shohei Ohtani, which means they don't get Glasnow, Snell, Tucker, Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki. I feel like none of that happens if the Astros don't cheat. So, a blessing in disguise, you could call it. I will never say thank you to the Astros, but I do think that this does not happen without that. That being said, the Dodgers are doing right. Your team can do the exact same thing. They have built a culture. There is no negativity going on around in the Dodgers clubhouse. You see everybody smiling. When was the last time you saw Ohtani mad? You don't see Ohtani mad. And it's what is it called? It's the opposite of dugout cancer. It just spreads around the dugout. Everybody's happy in Los Angeles. You're winning championships in Los Angeles. You're getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars in Los Angeles. Your team could have done the same thing. It's a culture thing. The Dodgers have built the best culture in baseball, and teams are mad because they can't replicate it. The Mets have a higher payroll this year than the Dodgers. What are the Mets doing right now? The Mets right now are last place in the NL East at 47 and 66, and they have a higher payroll than the Dodgers, who right now are 69 and 43. They don't have that culture. They couldn't build that culture. And then you're going to talk about, deferrals, deferred money, this, that, the other. The rules on deferred money are the same. For all 30 teams in Major League Baseball, the deferrals work the same exact way. Your team can put deferrals. If deferrals are very much an owner thing. The owners want deferrals because they know that the value of the dollar, Shohei Ohtani's $700 million contract in 2023 has a different value in 2033 when he actually starts getting paid. I don't know the exact, it could be worth $600 million from before. They saved $100 million just to do it. Your team can do the same exact thing. Your team can do that. Just find the guys that are good physically, that are great baseball players, and are good clubhouse guys, and build that culture. Start winning games, and that's what the Dodgers did. They built a culture. Now everybody wants to go in Los Angeles. Tarik Skubal wants to be in Los Angeles. Kyle Tucker wants to be in Los Angeles. Everybody wants to. Your owner could do the same thing, but they're cheap. This is where I start talking about Mark Walter. Now, a lot of you guys have never heard of Mark Walter. A lot of Dodgers fans have never heard of Mark Walter, which is a good thing. Now, the Dodgers front office is structured a lot different than every other team. They don't really have a GM. They have a president of baseball operations, which is Andrew Friedman. What Andrew Friedman does is he's the acting GM pretty much. He's like, hey, we want Tarik Skubal. This is what we're going to trade for him. He says, Mark Walter, we want Tarik Skubal. We're gonna give up these three guys. Mark Walter every single time says yes. He just funds the project. He funds the organization, and I'm pretty sure he has never said no. Mark Walter doesn't get enough credit for what he does. And deferrals. He's so smart with deferrals. Again, I think after this collective bargaining agreement, I think deferrals might be a little bit different. But take it to your advantage right now. And every team should do that. And let's hope the Dodgers build not only one of the greatest cultures in sports history, but one of the greatest, I would argue, is going to become one of the greatest dynasties in sports history. And it's all thanks to Mark Walter. He's making money off of this. Sure, is he going to spend billions of dollars on these players? Yes. Guess what? He's going to make back, if not double, triple of that. Because he knows how to invest in players. Why do you think Manny Machado had a short time in Los Angeles? He was dugout cancer, clubhouse cancer. Nobody liked him. And, he started getting, I remember one incident, again, 10 years ago, and I still remember him stepping on somebody's ankle at first. Nobody likes that. When was the last time you saw Dave Roberts get ejected? Do I wish he stuck up for his guys more? Yes. But, there's no anger going on in that dugout. Now, sure, you could say, sure, that anger's not there because they always win championships. And yes, but they win that championship. It's like a circle. It's like a life cycle. But yeah, a lot of your teams have billionaire owners, and they have the same rules and deferral rules as every other team, but you refuse to use them because your owners are cheap. Sorry, not sorry. I'm glad I'm a Dodgers fan. Yeah, and I'm fine with deferrals ending. I'm fine with them ending. I think we've had enough. We've abused it enough to where it's legal. Obviously, it's legal, but I feel like it's an owner's thing. Do I think they'll go away? I don't know. It's not going to be a big part of this CBA, but I'm fine with deferrals going away if that's what makes everybody happy, because we already got our set guys. But you are going to still need to honor the contracts that have already been signed. But yes, there will probably be a lockout. Yes, guys are going to be mad. Yes, the Dodgers are going to go for that three-peat. Yes, there's going to be no baseball next season. I'm sorry. Hopefully it only lasts a few months. Owners aren't going to get paid if there's no baseball. Hopefully it won't last that long. The players will be fine. They have plenty of money from jersey sales and all of that. They should be fine with this lockout. It's going to hurt the owners out of everybody. It's just going to hurt the owners. And the last thing I want to talk about with this trade deadline is prospects versus stars. Prospects aren't guaranteed. Prospects aren't guaranteed at all. I love having a great farm system, but I don't know how I want to phrase this. One second, let me make sure there's been no trades while I've been filming here. Nolan Hoffman, righty reliever, goes from Phillies to the Royals. Hoffman to the Royals. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting from the Phillies. Prospects. I'd love to have a good farm system, as anybody would, but I don't always want a homegrown team. You know what that means? I'd rather use those prospects, trade for stars, have the prospects develop somewhere else and have them stay over there, and we get the guaranteed stars. Is that not common sense? Is that a hot take? I feel like that's not a hot take, but I feel like nobody else has the balls to say that. Yes, I will give up 5 of our best prospects for a good player. The prospects aren't guaranteed. Let's move on to NFL. Ricky Pearsall has season-ending surgery coming up. his PCL, he's been having this PCL injury in his right knee, and surgery is coming within the next few weeks. The recovery timeline is 6 to 12 weeks. They are aiming for 6 to 12 months. They are aiming for 9 months, which means he will be out indefinitely all season. He's been dealing with this knee stuff since week 4 of last season against the Jags, when they were playing the Jags. But he missed pretty much all or parts of 10 games in 2025. He didn't play a full game of 10 games in 2025. The 49ers chose not to do the surgery in the offseason. They were hoping that the rest and rehab would be enough. Newsflash, it wasn't. And yeah, his knee swelled up after a few training camp practices, and that's when they were like, hey, we actually have to fix this. We can't, what is it called? Beat around the bush? How does that analogy go? I don't know how that analogy goes, but they want to actually do it right. But yeah, this is his third season. Was supposed to be his third season in the NFL. It's supposed to be a breakout season after he was the first round pick in 2024. But yeah, he finished last season with 36 catches, 528 yards, no touchdowns in 10 games, but never was fully healthy. So those stats are kind of irrelevant. To replace him on the roster, the 49ers signed Deebo Samuel. I almost said Deebo Sanders. Deebo Samuel to a 1-year deal. He was originally drafted by San Francisco in 2019 and then traded to Washington last offseason. They said that they were going to bring Deebo back regardless of Pearsall's situation. Do I believe that? Do I not? I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't have if Pearsall was good to go for this season, but who am I to say that? All right, that is going to wrap it up for the 160th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. I'm going to keep watching this trade deadline. Holmes and Taylor to Cubs for Mets for Rojas pending medicals. That's just breaking news from John Heyman. Same guys, new uniforms coming at you for the next 40, 50 games of the season. Make sure to watch this podcast on YouTube. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Go to shop@HatTrickSports.com. Get the best merchandise around. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and we will see you guys next week for episode 161.